Hi everyone, we're back. It's another mini pod that we're going to do today. Sorry for the delay. Our work schedules kind of conflicted, working opposite shifts, and we weren't able to record a mini pod for a couple weeks. But we're back, and today we're going to discuss this past week's Raw and Smackdown, and then give our predictions for the pay-per-view. So we'll start in order. So we'll talk about Monday Night Raw.
Listen up, there's not a moment to spare. It's quite a drop from the top, so how you feeling down there? Where did you think you could go? 'Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You're taking all that you please. You want more. Come on, but you get nothing from me. You're like the burden we bear. You love the hate that we share. You want more. Come on, but you get nothing from me. But
All right, so Raw opened with a highlight reel with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens just talking to each other about how great they are as friends and how they're such a, just basically just putting themselves over, insulting Seth Rollins, who they say isn't there that night. And then we are interrupted by Roman Reigns, who challenges Kevin Owens to a match, basically saying that if he wins, he gets a title shot at Roadblock, and Kevin Owens accepted.
I love Jericho and Owens. Like, I think that their dynamic of everything that they're doing is amazing. They teased a few weeks ago about how they were blaming each other for losing at the pay-per-view and stuff, and just even like that chemistry dynamic was awesome. So everything that they're doing right now is amazing. Obviously, we knew Roman was going to eventually end up back in the title picture, so not a big surprise that he came out to challenge them.
The thing that's weird about this is that they're setting up a stipulation for this match that's happening in the main event tonight or that night, and we already heard that. Like, I'm pretty sure they announced Roman is facing Kevin Owens a few weeks ago at Roadblock, and now they're setting it up on TV as if no one ever knew that before. So I thought that was kind of weird. So it was almost spoiled by the company a few weeks ago before they even set it up. Um, but the thing that is annoying is I'm hearing that there's actually a quite good chance that Roman is going to beat Kevin Owens for the belt, which I'm not looking forward to that at all.
I think that that has to happen, though, in order for the Jericho-Kevin Owens feud to really start. So Kevin loses the belt to Roman, and then all of a sudden him and Jericho start fighting and blaming each, he blames Jericho for losing and whatever, and then it kicks off their feud for real versus this teasing thing they've been doing for a couple weeks.
Okay, so our next match, Braun Strowman squashed R-Truth. That's about it. Sami Zayn comes out, tries to attack Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman just plows him. And then we come back from commercial, and Foley's in the ring talking with Sami, basically saying he can't beat Braun Strowman because Braun Strowman is not a man, he's a monster. And as he says that, Mick Foley's teeth fall out of his mouth. And Sami is saying Mick Foley's a hypocrite and all this stuff. So just more teasing of this eventual match, I guess, that they're going to do Sami against Braun Strowman.
It's a weird match that they're setting up for because they're not two people that you would expect to wrestle, but I'm okay with it. I think that in the end, if they book it correctly, it'll be a good match.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're going to handle this. So, next match, cruiserweight match, Tony Nese defeated Cedric Alexander because they were in Cedric Alexander's hometown. So, of course. He must lose. That's pretty much all there is to say about that match. Cruiserweight division not really setting the world on fire. Okay, so Chris Jericho attempts to leave the building, and he's doing an interview with Charlie, and he's just saying that he doesn't need Kevin Owens, and he's leaving Kevin Owens alone for the main event. And as he's walking, then there's actually a pretty funny segment. So he goes towards his limo, and he yells for the driver to open the door. And as the driver opens the door, he knocks the list down on the ground. So Jericho calls him a stupid idiot, which everyone laughs, including me. And then as Jericho goes to bend it down, you hear a voice say, "Oh, is that Does that mean I'm on the list now? And Jericho's like, you're damn right, you. And then he stops, and the camera pans over, and it's Seth, who actually is at the arena tonight. I keep saying tonight as if it happened 5 minutes ago on Monday night. And then Seth and Jericho start brawling in the parking lot. And it leads to Seth giving Jericho a pedigree on top of a car.
I like the feud that they've got going on because it's kind of fresh. Like, he hasn't really had that kind of an argument before. So it's interesting to see Seth against Jericho like that. I'm okay with any of their interactions. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I like this mini feud that they're coming up with. Keeps them both busy, but also still part of the storyline of the Roman Kevin Owens deal.
Even though I still think it's weird that they're kind of pairing Seth and Roman together. Probably to try to help Roman's credibility with the fans, but still, it's odd.
It's definitely not working. I think we're just used to not cheering for Roman, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Okay. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship, but it ends in a double countout. So Mick Foley comes out and says that later tonight, there's going to be a no disqualification, false count anywhere match for the Women's Championship.
And of course, they're in Charlotte, North Carolina, so we know that Charlotte is in her hometown, and she has this uncanny habit of losing her championship on Raw matches, so...
As a side note, for some reason this week I decided to look up, okay, what's the meaning behind the Queen City? Like, I always just thought it was almost like a parts unknown type of city or hometown to announce someone from. Just like, okay, it's Charlotte, so she's from the Queen City, okay? So I look up the Queen City, and it turns out Charlotte, North Carolina is nicknamed the Queen City. So I thought that's incredible.
Yeah, it's actually a cool little side fact that no one probably knows because I doubt anyone else looked it up. So, interesting how they did that play on words for sure.
Okay, so now we have Enzo Amore against Rusev. Enzo wins by DQ when Rusev gives him a low blow.
Can we just say, side note, that like the week before's Raw, when they had that segment with Enzo walking around and Lana's whole reaction to him actually was really well done. I don't know why they did it. Like, it's kind of a useless feud, but it was still funny. Like, it was well done.
Rusev's character for the last year and a half, basically since he lost to Cena, is a jealous boyfriend / husband / whatever.
Yeah.
Because all he does is yell at Lana or yell at someone for looking at Lana, or I don't know. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. So
I'm okay with it because I like it. It's better than just him running around crushing people.
Okay, so now we have Rich Swann defeating Noam Dar. Brian Kendrick was on commentary, and then Rich Swann cut a promo about the championship match he was going to have the next night on 205 Live, which I'll very briefly give my thoughts on once we wrap up Raw and Smackdown.
You know what, though? I like Rich Swann a lot. He's got a lot of charisma. I like his little dancing. Like, I like him. And I like Noam Dar, too. Dar.
Yeah, Noam
Dar,
Dar.
right?
Yeah.
Noam Dar. Anyways, I like him. I'm just not used to his name yet.
Okay, then we had a segment that was really fun to watch. Sheamus and Cesaro in a bar.
Oh, this is incredible.
Sheamus has a pint of Guinness. Cesaro has a martini shaken not stirred because he's Cesaro's 007. And then, they're talking about why, their team isn't working or is working. And later on, they end up in a big brawl and they beat the crap out of everyone. And they are bonding now.
Actually, you were watching it and all of a sudden you're like, please, please, please have a bar fight. Please have a bar fight. And then all of a sudden it started. It was really entertaining, and it was nice to see them bond over something. So things to come from those two, I think, now as a tag team. So it's exciting. And
there was a lot of indie wrestler cameos, too, that were in the bar. I'm pretty sure every single person in the bar was a worker, including Tessa Blanchard that they were showing at the beginning, ordering something next to Sheamus.
And then she kept, showing up laughing for a while until, they started to get, killed.
Roman Reigns beats Kevin Owens.
Yep.
The U.S. champion cleanly pinning the Universal champion.
Yep.
So Roman gets his title shot at Roadblock.
Well, and it was like the way that they were talking about what happened during the commercial break and everything, like Michael Cole, obviously, you know how he is, but like it was obvious that Roman was going to win the match just because of the like progress during the match. So like by the time the result happened, it was like I wouldn't have expected anything else.
The thing that annoyed me in this match was, yeah, as you were saying, during the commercial break, they would say, oh, here's what you missed during the commercial break. And it was Kevin Owens in control, hitting Roman with all the moves and everything. But when you're actually on the live broadcast on TV, when they came back, it was the Roman show. So if they don't show that what you missed during the commercial, all you see is Roman dominating from start to finish. Like, what a way to put over your Universal Champion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agreed.
I'm so sick of this Roman needs to look strong garbage. But anyways, let's move on. Now we have another highlight of Raw. Paul Heyman doing a pre-recorded interview with Michael Cole.
Oh my god, he had tears. Like from
had
the
tears.
start, like rolling down his cheek. Amazing.
Tears. You can tell he hadn't shaved.
Yeah.
He had just a slight
He looked
scruff.
like he hadn't slept.
Kind of like what he did when he was feuding with CM Punk.
Yeah,
where he
was
wasn't
incredible.
shaving for like a month.
Yeah.
Just to sell that, you know, his emotions are all
And
messed
like
up.
He can't sleep and everything. Just like that was awesome. And I liked how he said that like we don't know like this Brock Lesnar now, basically.
Yeah.
Because Brock Lesnar's never been in that situation before, so now we have no idea what to expect. That was awesome.
We've never seen Brock Lesnar that had what was it? How was
Something to prove?
Yeah, something to prove. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
I can't wait to talk about this pay-per-view when we have our super podcast with Brad, by the way. So excited.
So, yes. So, the Heyman interview, basically, in the end, he said, if Goldberg's going to be in the Royal Rumble, then Brock Lesnar will be in the Royal Rumble. So, that's something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll lead to the eventual WrestleMania match. The New Day against the Club.
Ugh.
For the Raw Tag Team Championship.
See, they've made it obvious that they're going to let them be champions until they beat the record. Like, that's clearly obvious. Don't do it with the Club, though. It's absolutely ridiculous how they're booking them. Like, they might as well not even be wrestling, because for them to lose constantly is, like, ludicrous, considering who they are. Like, it's really, I'd rather them not wrestle at all than lose to New Day all the time.
It's ridiculous how the Club has honestly not done a single thing since they came.
They're glorified jobbers. They keep losing.
They're not even glorified. They're just straight up jobbers. They're no different than Zack Ryder coming out now, I swear. Because they haven't won anything meaningful. They couldn't beat the Usos. They couldn't help AJ against Roman. They couldn't help against Cena. Well, I mean, I guess they did.
They did.
They didn't really
John
get
Cena.
a rub out of it. And they definitely can't beat the New Day. The New Day, I think, are 7-0 against them in title matches because they've had a lot of opportunities. And every single one kills me inside when I see the New Day, who are faces, cheat to win every single match. Where this week they used the tights to roll up.
Yeah.
Like, come on. How can you get me excited to cheer for baby faces that cheat? They're booking them as if they're supposed to be heels, but they pander to the crowd.
This is what's going to happen, is they're going to beat the record, and then Sheamus and Cesaro are going to win the belts. So even then, the Club still isn't going to get anything meaningful out of it once they eventually do lose the belts. So yeah, I don't know.
If Sheamus and Cesaro win the belt after the record's already broken, who cares? I don't need to see it broken. I don't need to see them lose if they've already broken the record. I wanted them to lose more than ever because that demolition record is right in front of them.
Yep.
It's like the Nikki Charlotte Divas title thing they had.
But they gave Nikki
They
let her beat the record, exactly. And so you know they're going to do the same thing for New Day, and then they're going to drop the belts the next night.
Now we have our main event, Sasha Banks against Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship Falls Count Anywhere match.
This match was awesome. Like, obviously, like, we've seen it a million times, but every time they add something new to what they're doing, and it was well done. And the finishing sequence was really cool. Except for, like, well, I'm sure the guy enjoyed it, but like Sasha basically like sat on some guy's lap for like 5 minutes after she won because she just kept like falling back on him, and I was like, well, that's interesting for that guy. But anyways, I like how Charlotte tapped and the position that she was in and everything. Obviously, we knew she was going to lose because she was in Charlotte. It was interesting that Sasha, like before the match, had dedicated it to Ric Flair, and then like it felt really weird. It didn't sit right with me. But when Flair came out, he like raised her hand and did the point thing. But I found that really like odd and creepy for some reason. Like, yes, he dedicated to her and everything, but it's still his daughter, so it was like it was strange to see him push or Sasha. Just strange.
And this is, of course, going to lead to yet another match between these two for the belt. And I'm upset that there's a high chance that Charlotte's pay-per-view record is going to be broken now. Because if she wins again, they have to do another like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't do this rematch thing forever. It's got to end at some point.
Well, I would ideally like to see somebody else in the title picture. I'm pretty tired of the two of them only, and then like Dana Brooke and Bailey have this like side thing, and Nia Jax isn't even part of the division at all. You know, you never see Alicia Fox. Like, mix the other girls in there. Like, at least on SmackDown, they do a good job of rotating the females during the night, so you see multiple matches or multiple combinations. They don't do that on Raw, and it's getting a little, old.
Well, they need. I was reading that Tamina might be coming back, and she'll be on Raw. Summer Rae's her, even though she hasn't ever been a contender.
No,
And
but at least
Emelina,
Summer gives, like, well, I don't think Emelina's ever going to debut. We've been watching her, the transition or whatever, the makeover to Emelina for like 6 months. So, like, I'm sure she's made over already. Like, let's just get her on the show. Like, I'm tired of it.
Okay, so that wraps up Raw, which overall I thought was a good show.
Actually, yeah, I enjoyed Raw as well. I thought that the Cesaro Sheamus bar fight segment, that was awesome. And then, like, it was so strange seeing Cesaro hold a Guinness afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
That was weird. Because he's so refined. He's so, like, Martini makes sense for him. Guinness does not.
He's the James Bond character actually fits in so well.
Because that's probably him in real life. Like, if I had to pick a personality for him, that's what it is. Like, he's refined. I'm sure he reads a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's very, like, posh. Good job, Cesaro.
Okay, so since Raw is finished now, let's move over to SmackDown Live. So SmackDown opens with a contract signing for the SmackDown Women's Championship between Becky Lynch and Alexa that Renee Young is hosting. Renee Young is quickly kicked out by Alexa.
Oh,
and saying,
Alexa, like, smashed her.
She was saying that they'll call her if they need bad fashion tips or something. Because she was wearing this, like, ridiculous outfit.
Poor Renee.
So Renee's gone. And then Alexa and Becky are going back and forth, insulting each other and saying why the other one should win. And obviously Alexa had the perfect facial expressions every time Becky says something, in her eyes, her super piercing eyes, just look back like, are you kidding me right now? Like, my foot was on the rope or whatever.
Side note, she Instagrammed a picture of her, like, Mattel doll, and it's making this, like, little face, and then it was, like, side screen split with, like, a picture of her making the same face, and it was, like, dead on. So if you follow her on Instagram, or if you don't, you have to find that picture, because it looks just like her. It's funny.
Alexa Bliss is incredible.
She is.
Yeah. So they both sign the contract, and then Becky takes a shot at Alexa, and they start brawling. Then Becky takes all the stuff off the table for like the contract signing, sets up the table in the corner as if she was going to do a Bexplex through the table. Then Alexa starts fighting her off, and eventually leads to Alexa pushing Becky and Becky falling through and smashing the table.
She fell through butt first.
Butt
like,
first.
Yeah, like
she did
just
a rear view
right through the butt. It was really funny.
She did Naomi's rear view.
She really did, to the table.
Which was good though, because it made sure that the most weight came down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the girls, like, we've seen like tables with the girls before, but they're too light, so they don't break them. So this,
like Sasha.
Sasha weighs like the same amount as a Kleenex. So like she's not gonna break a table. So by doing it that way, it ensured like most impact and stuff. So that was well done.
So Alexa's put through the table, and that ends that segment.
Not Alexa.
Becky. Alexa put Becky through the table. Is what I meant to say. And that ends that great segment. And the crowd was really into it, which is good too. They were cheering and hollering the whole time, which is great.
Well, because they're at SmackDown, which is superior, anyways.
So our next match, it's Dolph Ziggler and Kalisto against Baron Corbin and The Miz. Ziggler and Kalisto win from disqualification after Baron Corbin smashes Kalisto with a chair.
Oh, he like obliterated
He lit him up
but not as
awesome. But not as bad as a segment that we'll see later on. In regards to steel chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I thought it was an interesting match. I kind of like, even though it means nothing, I kind of like this Baron Corbin Kalisto feud just because it gives them both something to do, and it's interesting because you got a big man, small man, and I just love how Baron Corbin refers to all the cruiserweights as little kids. It'll be like, why do you want these little kids on this show? Like, people want to. He was saying on Talking Smack last week that people, when they watch TV, they want to see big superstars, people they can't be. But all the cruiserweights are people that anyone could be because they're just little kids. Like,
Baron Corbin's awesome.
It was actually a good line.
Huge Baron Corbin fan. Huge.
Okay. Carmella comes out to give John Cena a message.
Oh, yes.
She's going to hit Nikki Bella with a chair so hard at TLC that her Bella twins will end up on her back.
What an amazing quote. Like, whoever wrote that, genius. Really well done.
So Nikki runs out and starts attacking Carmella, and she ends up running away. And Carmella posted a picture on Instagram the other day, and her one eye is like totally just blacked out.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's exactly from that segment, but it adds to their feud.
Yeah, because there was another picture after that one where she's got an ice pack on her head, and it looks like she's got a bump on her forehead, and then obviously we know she has a black eye, so yeah, it adds to it for sure. There's now dramatic effect to their match.
We saw the return of the Ambrose Asylum with special guest, newly signed James Ellsworth. So Ambrose makes fun of him for a little bit, and then he is kind of saying all these things that Ellsworth can do for him to make up for all the help Ambrose has been giving him. And AJ comes out, and they talk a little bit, and then he starts beating up on both. So he, takes care of Ambrose, sends him flying. Then he hits Ellsworth, and Ellsworth kind of like slides out the ring with his feet kind of hanging over, like he's doing a handstand kind of.
And he like slid the chair like out of the ring too, like at the same time. Yeah. It's like really cute.
So Ellsworth's kind of like, he looks like a ladder set up against the ring. AJ grabs a chair and just absolutely just smashes.
Yeah.
Like,
he just fell like a ton of bricks. He just fell right to the ground after that. Like, that was a hard hit. He took that well.
Yeah, he got rocked with that chair.
Yeah, but then he got rocked a few minutes later too, when AJ stood on top of the stairs.
So AJ sets up one of the steel steps, well, he first teases that he's going to do the Styles Clash to James Ellsworth on the outside. Yeah. Then he kind of looks over, sees the steps, goes over to the steps, sets him up, so we're thinking he's going to do him on the steps. The Styles Clash, I mean. But instead, he jumps off the steps with Ellsworth and does the Styles Clash onto the ground. the most devastating Styles Clash I've ever seen.
That was
Besides
awesome.
Yoshitatsu getting his neck smashed and
Well,
broken.
well, the thing is, like, as I was watching it, I said, well, at least Ellsworth knows how to take the Styles Clash now, because when they had their, like, first match, he almost broke his neck because he tucked his head in, so, like, AJ caught it and then, like, didn't do it the way he was supposed to in order to save his life, basically.
Yeah.
So it was good that, like, now, like, they must have been practicing, because he looked good taking it, and obviously AJ's amazing and looked amazing giving the Styles Clash because he's phenomenal.
It was good to show AJ going over really strong.
Yeah, well, he needs to, because he keeps losing to him, so it's good to give him some momentum going into the pay-per-view.
Our next match is Kane against Luke Harper, and the result basically, in the end, Kane chokeslam on Harper. That's it.
But you know what, though? It was a long match.
Yeah, they got some good time.
They did. They got some good time. And I was okay with it because I like both of them. Like, I think it's interesting to see two big guys like that, like, wrestling, and to give them that much of a time spot was good. So I was okay with that match.
So we find out that the Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch match has been changed to a tables match at TLC. Becky Lynch accepts, and that's that. So we're going to see the second ever tables match at a pay-per-view for women.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
but I
that's
really think, okay, we'll talk about our predictions in a second.
Okay. Now we're on to our main event. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton against American Alpha, and the winner will challenge Heath Slater and Rhino at TLC.
There is literally nothing better on SmackDown, aside from AJ, than Randy Orton being part of the Wyatts. That combination is incredible. Like, as they were walking out, I'm like, who came up with this idea? It's genius. They work well together. It's got a cool, like, mysterious dynamic behind it. I don't even want Randy to turn on them. Like, I love the whole thing about it. It's, like, great. Randy stands on the top rope, does his pose thing. Wyatt's, like, in the ring. He does his pose thing. Oh, I love it. They're so good together.
The thing that they're doing perfect about it is that you don't get a sense from Randy that he's reluctant to be on the team with him.
No, he's not defecting like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's not, like, as they're booking it right now, it's not clear as day that Randy's turning on them. You actually feel like Randy wants to be there.
But I want Randy to stay there.
And that makes them a better team overall.
It does, but I don't want Randy to turn on him. Like, I really don't. I think if he stayed with the Wyatts forever, I'd be good with that.
Randy, even when he came back to SmackDown finally, he never had that, like, that show-stealing feud with Bray. It was the same Bray, backstage shenanigans and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like the creepy, like, going through the doorways thing, and then you're seeing Eric Rowan, like, kind of following him with the mask and stuff. But, like, that was it. But that's because they weren't that good at booking Bray. So this combination is helping him.
So them joining seemed like the next logical step. But in the end, I don't want to see them feud. I just want to see them together.
Same.
Like, I really want to see them win the titles.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Bray Wyatt, like, when the Wyatts were first coming, they got, like, all these amazing promos, build up for, like, months about them coming to WWE, whatever. And then nothing. No titles, no anything. Like, lackluster at best. They never win feuds. Like, they always end up getting beat in the end. Like, he might win one match randomly, and then, like, he gets pummeled, like, in John Cena and whatever. So, like, hopefully this does do that, because, like, they deserve it at this point. Like, it's been such a long time. Give them the push that they need, WWE. Thank you, SmackDown.
So the Wyatts defeat American Alpha, and they are challenging for the titles. So very much looking forward to that. Then the show ends with Heath Slater and Rhino watching the match from backstage. AJ interrupts them, and then suddenly Dean comes, and him and AJ start brawling, throwing each other all over the place.
And there was cookies.
Cookies, chips flying all over. It was like a food fight going on back there. So, just to end it on on a brawl just to push, towards the pay-per-view this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
side note, it's so weird seeing Rhino with like mutton chops and like not the full beard. It's like so strange.
yeah.
We've met him. I don't know if we've mentioned that before. We've met Rhino a couple times. He's really nice. Like one of the nicest wrestlers we've probably ever met. It's just so strange looking at him because he doesn't look like himself at all.
So before we get to our predictions for the pay-per-view, I just want to comment on the 205 Live. I did watch it. Christina hadn't, but I did see the show. And one thing I do have to say is having it taped after SmackDown is not a good idea because a lot of the fans are either tired, they're staying and they're tired, or they just don't stay. So, a lot of people leave after SmackDown because they've seen all the stars and that, or they're just tired and they're just not into the show. So the show was 1 hour long. Most of the show was pretty quiet, I would have to say. But the crowd did get lively during the main event between Brian Kendrick and Rich Swann, which saw Rich Swann defeating Brian Kendrick. So we have a new Cruiserweight champion. And the crowd was excited to see that. So that did help the show in the end, left you on a high note. But if I were WWE, I would have 205 Live before SmackDown.
Well, probably before SmackDown because Raw's already about 50 hours too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. If it's at the beginning, it's exciting. When you first go to a show, all the lights are sparkling, nothing's happened yet. You don't know who's going to come out during the course of the night. So to have them start the show that way, which typically there's like 1 or 2 dark matches before any of the televised, shows. So that'd be the perfect opportunity to get everyone exposure and to have the crowd still be amped up. Because at this point, no one's come out yet. So you still have that like anticipation / excitement about the evening. So like that's where you want to get those guys in there. You want to get them exposure. You want people to tune into 205 Live. Then you need to make sure that everyone's actually getting to experience them. And because this is like a WWE network thing, and it's not, televised on public TV or whatever, let them do their high-flying moves. They're cruiserweights. That's what they're supposed to do. So I want to see backflips over tables and ladders and chairs, oh my, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, let them have that space and that opportunity to be who they are and what they're supposed to be. That's my rant. Thank you.
Okay. So we've talked about Raw.
Yes.
We've talked about SmackDown.
Yes. Are we going to vote?
Let's just go with our pick of the week.
SmackDown Live. Well, I don't know actually, because Raw was pretty good, but AJ, so I'm gonna have to go with SmackDown Live.
To be honest, they were both good shows. SmackDown flew by this week.
It did. It felt like
really
it was
quick.
about 45 minutes long.
I enjoyed the show overall for SmackDown and Raw, but I'm gonna have to say for this week, I'm gonna go with Raw.
Oh my god! Blasphemy!
Even though Roman won, even though the New Day won, the Jericho segments were both good.
Yeah.
The women's match was really, really good.
Of course.
And I really enjoyed the segment with Sami Zayn and Mick Foley as they're building towards that Braun Strowman match.
And the Cesaro.
Sheamus thing. There was a lot of things.
Really good. Because they did a knockout different show, things, but they tried different stuff. Like they did a random segment not at the arena. Yeah. They haven't really done that. Whereas like on SmackDown, they'll do like, oh, Dean Ambrose is going to be all these characters and it's really funny. And it's like, they kind of like played off of that. They just removed them from the situation completely and filmed it somewhere else. But the aspect of that whole thing was good. It was fresh. The Sami Zayn, Mick Foley dynamic is interesting and new and different and fresh. And that's good. I like it. I like that Sami's having problems with like authority, which is so strange because he's such a likable person. So like they're trying different things, which I think is only going to help them, aside from Roman, of course.
Okay, so those are our picks. And now we're going to quickly just go over our predictions for the pay-per-view. So I'm just going to read off the matches, and I just want you to say who you want. You don't even have to explain who do you want to win or who do you think.
Okay.
Whatever answer, that's your answer.
Okay.
Okay. Kalisto versus Baron Corbin in a chairs match.
I'm going to have to go with Baron Corbin on this one.
I agree. Rhino and Heath Slater against Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton for the tag team titles.
As much as I love Rhino and Heath Slater, and I know he's got kids, it's gotta be Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Like, if it's not Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, like, why bother even employing them? Like, I don't understand the whole point of, like, putting them together, building this team, making them amazing, give them the championship.
I honestly think the only way the Wyatts wouldn't win is if they did the Randy turn this Sunday.
They can't.
That's the
that
only
would be
way.
the worst mistake ever.
To me,
like, that would be a colossal mistake.
To me, that's the only way they won't win. If that doesn't happen, there's 1,000% chance they're winning, in my opinion.
I don't think Randy would turn when they're going to win a championship, though.
Yeah, but
like, I feel
what would make you more mad than having a championship opportunity and me making
no,
us lose?
Don't even throw that into the universe. Like, they have to win. Like, they have to win. You better win.
Okay. Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no disqualification match.
I feel like Nikki will probably win, but I feel like Carmella should win.
Carmella, I think, will win because Nikki has already beat her before.
Okay. Right, I forgot. Okay, so then Carmella should win. She should win, I think. She's got everything to gain, and Nikki won't lose anything by losing to her.
Or maybe during the match, because it's no DQ,
Natalia's gonna come out. Because Natalya definitely attacked her. For sure. We haven't talked about this yet, but that's who I think attacked her.
I was just gonna say, because I'm still really hopeful that Eva Marie.
Oh no!
Incredible.
Ugh.
Come on, Eva Marie. We need you.
I don't even know why she's employed. Like, I really don't.
She's employed because she's the greatest.
She's not.
I need her to come back.
Actually, I like her on Total Divas, though. I'm not gonna lie. She causes problems.
Okay. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler Intercontinental Championship match. It's a ladder match.
I think Miz is gonna win. He's putting like those. Well, I don't know though, because he's been every day he Instagrams putting a WWE sticker to count how many days he's been champion, like his championship reign or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, Ziggler in a ladder match is a good thing though. But Miz has been known to be good in ladder matches too. I don't know. I think I'll go with the Miz, I guess.
This is another instance of if Ziggler wins, this feud will never end.
Yeah.
So I think Miz needs to win to
end it.
Even though pretty sure they've already said this will be it. This needs to be it. Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss tables match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I'm gonna go with Alexa. She's blissed off. And I think that it would be good to see the title change hands. It's nice that Becky's champion. I like Becky. I think she's amazing. But when there's a heel champion, it's just a little more interesting. Even though her feud with Alexa is actually quite interesting. I actually really like their pairing. But it'd be good to see Alexa win the gold.
I would be happy with either one.
Yeah, I don't care
either way. It's hard for me to pick, but
yeah.
I would be satisfied with either way. However, since it is a tables match, and tables matches are no disqualification, maybe Eva Marie.
Oh,
Come
my
on,
God.
Eva.
No.
Come back.
No.
I need you in my life.
Don't come back. Ever. I don't know. I think Natty's going to interfere in every women's match until they actually treat her like a wrestler again.
Natty will interfere until Eva Marie comes back.
Oh my God, Natty would murder Eva Marie,
Come on,
by the
Eva.
way. She would just destroy her.
Okay. I'll read everything. Okay. AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose TLC match for the WWE World Championship.
I think that James Ellsworth is going to interfere in this match, but he's going to be on AJ's side
What? As
And he's gonna feud with Dean Ambrose. I don't want Dean to win. I like Dean, don't get me wrong. I actually love Dean. But AJ is so incredible right now. He has not held the belt long enough. He needs a good reign.
as pro wrestling as it sounds to have James Ellsworth turn on Dean, after what
Oh,
we
he's
saw,
turning for sure on Dean. Like, that's gonna happen.
after what we saw, what AJ did to him on SmackDown,
Oh, he obliterated
he would be
him.
stupid. Well, unless he does it out of fear.
Like, he's worried.
Like he turns because he doesn't want AJ to kill him again.
Perfect.
So
That'd
it's
be
almost
amazing.
like he's
Let's do that.
turning to save himself, not to spite Dean. Then
Well,
that's
maybe.
the only way
I
can
could see him doing that, though, because he's like, he looks cowardly. Like, he's just got that persona. Side note, because I just remembered about it. So, he was at some airport, James Ellsworth, and it was like a Chinese restaurant behind him, but it said something, and then, like, the wording kind of went, like, around, like, in a half circle. So, where he was standing, it just said chin, and he was, like, pointing to it. So, I thought that was funny, and it just popped into my head randomly.
Well, he can't point to his chin.
Well, he doesn't have one.
He doesn't have one.
Well, and another side note, the puns that they are making about his appearance are hilarious. Between AJ, between like all of the panel that does all the
JBL.
discussions,
Even
and
David
stuff.
Otunga.
Oh, I know. Like, oh, and like David
No Chin
Otunga,
Music.
why do you have like half sleeves now? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just went all tattoo crazy. Anyway, but I need more AJ Styles in my life.
Before I forget, I just have to say on the commentary team on 205 Live, it's Corey Graves, Mauro Ranallo, and Austin Aries.
Amazing.
Greatest announcing team in WWE.
That is like the best possible combination ever. Oh, and I do like that they've included Tom Phillips on commentary on Raw.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Tom Phillips is probably one of my favorite people in the company.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. But please, AJ Styles, please win. I'm not done with you yet.
I think AJ's winning no matter what happens. Whether there's a turn, whether he just beats him, whether it's luck, whether someone else comes, who knows what's going to happen. Unless Eva Marie...
Oh my god.
Come on, Eva.
I was thinking of Finn Balor, and you're thinking of Eva Marie?
Oh, jeez. Finn Balor is nothing compared to Eva Marie.
Oh my god.
Eva Marie is
How dare you?
WrestleMania main event.
Okay. Alright, that's enough.
Like, I want Eva Marie to have both women's titles.
Did you fall and hit your head before we recorded this? Like, honestly. Eva Marie is like the makeup that like Sherry used to wear. That's it. Just the makeup. That's how much I think that she has in terms of potential to be both women's champions. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Eva was doing an interview where she said some of the top males in the company were saying they would pay to have the heat that she has.
Oh, she's got like Roman heat. It's like nuclear.
No. Roman's got go away heat.
No, but for a while he didn't have go away heat. People just like hated him. And then he became like go away heat material.
Yeah, like when I see Roman, it's go away heat.
I still like Roman. I just don't want him to win all the time.
I want him to turn heel.
Well, me
like,
too.
You look at the Usos on SmackDown.
Yeah.
When they come out and they're having a match, I love it.
Actually, they're cool. I do kind of like their new gimmick. It's cool.
I'm totally on the side of the Usos now. Because they're not forcing me to have a reaction about them that I don't want to. Now, as heels, I can choose whether I want to boo them, which is, what I'm supposed to do, or enjoy them, which is what I am doing. But
you enjoy heels. Like, 99% of your favorite wrestlers are actually heel.
Yeah, but...
actually,
so are yours.
Strangely, so are mine. I've never liked heels in my life. Suddenly, I'm all about them.
Like, let's be real. Seth...
Love him.
He's a natural heel.
Yes.
So, and you love him.
Yes.
AJ.
Yes.
Kevin Owens.
Yes.
Jericho's a heel.
Absolutely. One of the best.
Randy.
Love
Bray.
him. Love him.
They're all heels.
Keep going. I do tend to love the heels, even like when Punk like was wrestling and stuff. Like 90% of the time, he was also heel, and I loved him then.
Sorry,
too.
I had an Undertaker moment. My eyes were rolled back so far.
Oh, whatever. I love you, CM Punk. Best in the world.
You know who I love?
Yeah, Mickey.
No.
Who?
Eva Marie.
Oh, okay, that's enough.
All right, so that about does it for this week. So we have a pay-per-view tomorrow night, and we will see you guys next time.
All right, bye everybody.